Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Thanks everyone joining here quickly. That's good. Susrita, I have made you host.
Hi Vishnu,
Hi Anuva.
how
Good
are you?
morning.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. Hi, Murli here.
I'm Murli.
Hi.
I would request everyone to keep the video on so that it records the faces. That will be good when we put this one in YouTube or something. People will know that so many people joined. I would appreciate that one. If you are comfortable, please make your video on.
Hey, Vishnu, you should have told that you are going to put it on YouTube.
Yeah, it is
No,
happening. Uh,
I would have basically.
no, no, this thing, yeah, this is kind of,
My market value should not go down.
yeah, no, that's good, that's good, okay. It's basically natural, like, okay, people feel comfortable with what they are, and it will look like, okay, it's a natural thing, like people are not coming with suit and other thing just to show off, right? It's very natural.
Good morning, Vishnu.
Hi, good morning, Tapas.
Hello, guys. Good morning, Vishnu and everybody else. Alok here.
Hi, look, good
Good
morning.
morning, good evening, everybody.
Good morning, Vishnu. This is Rita.
Hi, Rita, good morning.
Good morning, Vishnu uncle. This is Sanjeev.
Hi, Sanjeev, good morning. So while you guys are joining, I can keep talking little bit. That way we can keep everyone engaged here. So there are a lot of people joining. So yesterday we had, I believe we had a great session, and we requested some feedback through the feedback Google form. People have responded, but majority of the responses have not come. I would request everyone to check that link, and as much possible, whatever information you think valuable, give feedback accordingly so that we can improve ourselves. So that is one thing I want to mention. And yesterday I remember that people were facing problem with the audio system. Hopefully today it will be better. uh, so I apologize for all those situations, but I can tell one thing, that there are certain things I have control, certain things I do not have control with. So the audio system, I do not know what happened yesterday. Definitely sorry about that one. Hopefully it will be good today. So because so many people are joining, the latency problem is there always. So we face those kind of problems. So we'll see what best we can do from our end. Otherwise, we have to move forward with the way things are moving. Because in the middle, when so many people are there, I cannot do any adjustment from my side. So we have to take as is and move forward. So that is something we have to see. And the session we had regarding problems, challenges, it was, I believe, from my side, that it was a good one. I have collected a lot of information. In fact, my daughter Susrita, she has helped in preparing one slide where all the information collected and put into that slide together. So that will give us a good idea about what are the challenges we have, and I have highlighted them. I'll show that one. I have highlighted that in a way so that you can find out most of the challenges we are facing. That is all related to our traditional way of managing things, and how Agile will help in those practices and how we can get into that one. So we'll talk about when we go through that one. So I will not immediately jump into those challenges directly, but I'll keep those notes, and when I talk, I'll keep in my mind that these are the challenges you are facing, how we can address those through the agile methodology or practices we have, right? So that is good thing. I think we are
So
at
Vishnu,
9
this is
people. Yeah.
Arvind. A
Yes,
small
Arvind.
small input update. I don't know how many people were aware. Today there is a bit of storm warning, so this may also have some impact on our, internet bandwidth, and also we all need to be
Okay.
cognizant of that. So yeah.
Yeah. So looks like we have 30 people right now. I am hoping that yesterday it was more than 60 people, so we are at only 50% at this point. So we'll give another couple of minutes. But meanwhile, I will show the challenge board, whatever we discovered yesterday, so that way it will be better. So we can talk little bit, and then finally we can proceed. So I'm not going to go over all these working agreement. Everybody knows. Let's follow this one. Parking lot yesterday by some kind of mistake or something. Definitely, the parking lot was removed, but we have made that one new. So anytime anybody has question, let's utilize parking lot. So go to your team app parking lot and put your questions, and then we can move that one. Means I would ask anyone from the team to facilitate in moving the parking lot item if the questions are not answered. So you will be given opportunity to discuss about the question within the team itself, and if the questions are not answered, then we can move that one to the general parking lot. So let's move with that one. I want to start little bit discussion about Slack, which is come to us as a offering. So from our group, we have Joaquin, who has basically called me and tried to give me a little bit understanding of Slack and how it can help us in our collaboration process. So in fact, we had sent the information. Joaquin has helped creating the Slack channels and all those things. So he's going to talk a little bit about the Slack and help us understand whether it will benefit us or not. Survey link I mentioned about that one. People who joined late, please help us improving ourselves by providing valuable feedback from your side. So once I understand these are the thing where improvement needed, then I can improve myself, or we can improve together. So this is where we are working together. We are trying to learn together and grow together. So please help us, or please help yourself by helping us. So let's do that one. So Joaquin, if you are ready, so you can start sharing your screen and tell whatever you need to.
Yeah. Um, Hello, everyone. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Business, for putting all this together. This is not an easy undertaking. I wanted to suggest using Slack because it is an easy to use uh, short-term communication tool. Um, I saw that there were a lot of pain points with sharing and clicking on all these different resources. So if you join Slack, we sent out an invite. You will notice that we have the attendance sheet in the general chat. We have the Zoom link, so you know where to click and what room to join. And then we have the Trello board links for each of the teams. Towards the end of the call, for each of the webinars, there is also the feedback. Everything is readily accessible, so it should make it easier for us to collaborate. Once everyone joins, or once more people join into the Slack group, I will be moving forward with assigning everyone to their respective team. Um, are there any questions just off the top of your heads?
Hi, Joachim. First of all, thank you. This is Alok. A quick question, maybe a stupid question. Uh, I have logged in on Slack for a different group, and my question is it that I do have to create multiple user login for each of this group in Slack?
Yeah, I have, as you can see here in the top left, I have 6 groups that I'm a part of. I have a different login for each of them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Arbind Joachim. As a good. Hi, Joachim. This is Arbind.
Uh-huh.
I have a question. I mean, for both you as well as Vishnu. That this Slack, or we are still going to use Trello?
Yeah, Trello is available here. This just allows us to organize all the resources we want to share with the group. That way we don't have to send the message via Zoom chat, which is a little messy and it's a little hard to manage with more people. So this just makes it easy for you to go to your team and click on your link.
Okay, so it will be, so first we have to go to the, we have to log into the Slack, and then automatically it will lead towards the link on the left side as it is showing. And if you click the team, then it will take us to us, right?
Absolutely, yeah. First,
I'll be asking these questions because I'm not from the field. I'm from entirely different segment. So these things are new to me. So I'll be asking these questions because I need to
All
know.
right. Just to give you a difference between Trello and Slack. Slack is more like a communication channel where you can do one-to-one or one-to-many kind of a communication. Say, for example, you would have seen over here. So he is written about the to everyone. He has given the details about the attendance sheet, Zoom link, etc. On your left side, you have the individual names like you can see Alok Mahapatra, Anshul, etc. Right? So you click on them, it's like a one-to-one communication. Okay, you can share documents with them, you can do everything. When it comes to Trello, Trello is more like a dashboard. Dashboard, like what we call the Scrum board or a Kanban board, right? So it's that kind of a thing. So where you basically update about the latest thing, what you have done about the project, and those kind of things. So it's a team-based activity board, you can say, as a Trello. So both are two different dimensions used for two different applications.
Thank you, Rohit. Thanks.
Yes, that's very good.
Yeah, so we again, this is Neela. Vishnu, so we have to create a profile in Slack, new login. I mean, whose product is Slack?
Slack is a free-to-use collaboration tool. We just made it to allow everybody to network and share resources. And I also mentioned some people. I also saw some people wanted to make study groups, so this would facilitate those interactions as well. But
Hello.
yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
So someone asked about creating different logins for each group. I can you can actually use the same login if you want. It's definitely up to you, because if you are good with managing different logins, I'm sure you will struggle with it if you have up to 10, 15, 20. So you can have a single login details for each of those ones, just to make life easy for you. Just a suggestion. Thank you.
That's very good. Thank you, Alberto. Okay, so if there are no
one more last question. Sorry to. Did we have this invite for the Slack from where, the email or in our group?
WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the link on inside of the Zoom chat. So if you click on that link, you should be able to join the workspace.
Yeah, that'll be better. Thank you.
Yesterday in the afternoon, we also sent out emails to everybody with the invite. But if you don't find it, then it's okay. Just click on the link and you should be able to join.
Thank you.
Okay, that's good. So we can get started here. Before I start, I want to ask check with Susrita how things are today with break room.
Yeah, it's the same as yesterday. It's actually taking me a little longer today
but that's not because of the change in it's the same process for me, but it's just a little longer today. So it'll take me a couple more minutes to get it sorted out.
No, no, that's fine. So I was hoping that by putting the registration upfront, it will automatically recognize, but it is
No,
not.
it recognized some of them. It definitely did at least like 6 or 7, but the rest
Oh,
of them are still unorganized.
okay, okay, sounds good. Okay, so let's start. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this is the challenge board what I was talking. So yesterday we collect a lot of information, and the items in yellow are in fact all related to the current environment, the traditional way of doing things, and how we can get benefit through the process agile management or agile methodology. So we need to look into this one. So you can have a quick look at what is going on here. Then I'll switch to next one. And the items in blue color, they are more into training, certification, all those things, not related to agile directly. And the white color, like internet connectivity issue we had yesterday. Office politics, kind of related, but I will take that one offline discussion and not more into agile. Sometimes it is related to agile, but that's general politics in office. Okay, let's move forward. Let's start with agile. So start with understanding of what agile is, and then we'll talk about agile methodology or different practices, right? So to me, agile is all about being flexible and quickly and easily doing something, moving. So it is basically how you are moving yourself mentally and physically and getting things done, right? And it's basically understanding or the think process is very lightweight, fast and simple, but heavy in understanding. So if you do not have proper understanding, it might be problem for you. So that is where I'm trying to best help through different practices or process here. So you will see that we'll go through a lot of things where we need to see how we can enhance our understanding. So the last one says agile is easy to get going, it had to do well. So this is the part we have to focus, right? We know that it is basically easy here, simple, but it is at the same time very hard, right? So let's talk about this one. This is very high level, 40,000 feet above how we can look into agile, right? So in this picture, so many people might have seen this kind of picture, but this is organized in a different way. So if you see on the left hand side, it more focuses on team. So within team, you will see that we need to bring team empowerment and self-organization. How we will be doing that one, we'll talk about it, but we need to have respect between team members and trust, and we need to solve problems, right? When we are working in the agile environment, we should not basically, we should basically think of how we need to be fearless. Saying no, basically if your manager is coming and asking you to do something under the rug, then you are fearing the man. Oh, he or she is my manager, and I cannot say no to the person. So I'm going to take care of her or him by doing something which is not known to anyone. There is no transparency. I'm going to hiddenly doing something, right? So you are fearing. So through different practice, you will understand how to get out from that fear mode and do things. discipline. Definitely, we need to be disciplined for anything we do, right? So when we are working with the team, we need to have team collaboration, cooperation, communication. These three things we'll be talking, and these three things are very important within the team environment. How to build a high performing team, and as a so I believe people who are here, they are willing to go to a role where you will be exhibiting leadership, right? So your role will be in the team environment. Your role will be to guide team and making sure that how they can develop self-organization, how they can collaborate each other, cooperation between everyone is going good. What are the different mechanism of communication they should follow, and how they can get benefit out of that one. So, and the last thing I want to talk here in this one is face-to-face interaction or communication. That's the most important thing, right? So right now in this training also we are doing a lot of activity, right? So we are implementing a lot of tools and technology within this training session. But I would say I don't care much about those tools and technology. I care more about the face-to-face interaction. So that's the reason we have created teams, and the facility we have created where team members will be sitting there together face to face, talk about the challenges, problems, how to solve things, right? How to move forward, right? So that is the most important. And anywhere you are going, any company you are working, any team you are dealing with, basically see that how you can make that happen, how people can work together, whether you are in the distributed team, whether you are co-located somewhere working, so how you can bring everyone and working together face to face. Right hand side, it talks more into methodology and leadership. So if you see this one, it talks about value driven development, right? So current traditional way of the delivery method, traditional delivery method is mostly project driven, right? So we need to see that how we move out from project driven delivery method to value driven development, right? So this is a definitely a bigger chapter where we'll be mostly spending time and talking about it, right? So all these things, the value driven is all linked with all these items, right? So while doing while we are delivering value, we need to be efficient, we need to be simple, and it has to be time boxed, and we have to think differently. So lean thinking has to come. Strategic planning, strategic thinking, servant leadership is a big key item we need to discuss. How we need to be acting as a servant leader, and how that helps team, organization, individual, whoever is involved, all stakeholders, all those things, right? So then we have to work in a way we can influence people, we can negotiate with people and motivate people, right? Then stakeholder engagement, all those, right? So basically with stakeholder engagement, you are influencing, negotiating, and motivating, right? And when you are engaging with stakeholder, you are bringing transparency, and during the process you are inspecting what is going on, and you are adapting to the need, right? We are finding problem, we are getting feedback, and how we are adapting to those, and then finally seeing that all those behavior, all of our actions bringing the final thing is value, right? How we can drive, so how we can organize ourselves towards the value, nothing else, right? If there is no value, if we are spending our effort and working with team, or engaging our team to do something which doesn't give any value, there is no value. And how we are going to do this one, we are going to do in different way, right? We have to apply iterative development method, and how we can incrementally produce things and deliver something to the customer, where we can basically get the value, get the feedback immediately, understand what are the challenges customers facing, and how we can get the value immediately through the incremental development or delivery process. All these things happens, right? All these things happens when we have understanding, and when we are ready to coach people, where people are taking in a positive way. We are empowering people to understand how they can work together. So coaching in the center comes here. So you, as a leader, you will be basically in a position to coach people in the right way of doing things, not basically asking people or doing command and control, telling people this is my way to do things and do it. So that is not going to work, and that is where Agile fails. And we have to adapt ourselves before asking people to do something. We have to, as a leader, we have to do the role model, right? We have to first adapt ourselves. We have to change, and then only other people can see the behavior, and then they can see that, oh, okay, I see that this person is like this. So they will see this. So basically, we have to play the role model, and through that one, we can basically be ourselves become agile, and we'll try to help others also become agile. So if we are not agile, nobody will listen to us, and they will not be agile also. So it starts with you. So basically it starts with you, and so you see on the right hand side the gift packages, right? So it is like, okay, so first it starts with you, so you wrap the packet and you give the gift to others. And when you give the gifts to the other, for example, you are going to a party and you are giving a gift to someone, right? So in return, when you come back, you get a return gift. So that is what exactly will happen when you give a gift of your knowledge, or the way you are doing, the role model you are playing, the servant leadership you are playing. You will see that all those results comes back to you as a gift. So this is what you have to understand. So you will get a nice gift when you give a nice gift to someone, right? So the bottom line is you need to be agile, right? But question is how you need to be agile, right? It starts with training, right? First of all, we have to understand that, okay, what is agile? If we do not know, then you will not be acting properly, right? First knowledge has to come, right? So you need to gain knowledge, right? Once you gain knowledge, you will feel that, okay, oh, I have a lot of knowledge, and I'm going to do this one and that one, right? And that is where things fails, right? Oh, I know agile. Many people say I know agile, but the behavior they exhibit, it is anti-agile. So why? Because they do not do enough practice on those knowledge areas. So until you do the practice on those areas, you will feel that, oh, I know it, so what the other person is talking, you are only talking theoretical, you have not practiced. The moment you practice, the little you put effort on practicing, you will understand that, okay, oh, this is this. So that is where you have to be, right? So you gain understanding only when you basically practice. So this is a quote, famous quote, knowing is not understanding. We talked a little bit yesterday, but here it says, there is a great difference between knowing and understanding. You can know a lot about something and not really understand it. So, this is where. So first we are knowing a lot about the problem, right? So we collect a lot of challenges and all those information, right? We are knowing a lot, but do we really understand? How we need to understand? So if you start thinking about a particular problem and try to take action, when you take action, I would say take only little action, because when you try to do lot of things around a problem, then you basically completely lost. So find out what is the smallest thing that you can do about a problem and bring little bit improvement. Don't try to bring a huge improvement to certain thing, right? And many people do that one. They think that there is a problem, they come up with 20 plans and then try to implement, and they try to say that, okay, I'll be perfect tomorrow. That is where the problem comes, right? So the step is basically take little action and try to improve little bit. So when you try to improve little bit, then you basically get little understanding about the problem. So far you have not understood. You have knowledge about the problem, but you have now understood little bit about the problem. Sorry. Then what happens? Then through that little bit understanding, then you are trying to do again little bit more. So it's a cycle basically. So now you basically take some more action to improve that problem or the situation so that you can do better, right? So it goes like that. So basically what I'm trying to say here, that Agile is all about doing something very simple and in a simplest way, and taking only action which is very little, right? Okay, don't try to take action in a huge manner so that you think that okay, I can solve this problem altogether day one, right? So that way you'll have lot of challenge. So this is my recommendation. So only thing is do little and understand it and then move forward. So start with some knowledge. So the best method what people use is definitely there are a lot of techniques, but there is a technique called Suhari, and I personally practice this one in every step, every kind of work, starting from exercise, starting from studying, starting from this training what I'm giving also, right? Anything. So I literally follow. It is basically set in my mind, Suhari technique. This is a developmental mastery model which basically came from it's a Japanese martial art called Aikido, and we'll talk a little bit quickly so that you understand. You can Google and find out more information about it. I am not expert in this one, that okay, I'll give you all the information, but at least I can say that this is my model that I practice all the time. So the early stages of learning focuses on concrete steps to imitate. As I mentioned, right, we have a problem, and when we have a problem, we are trying to learn how can I do. For example, I have health problem, and I do exercise, right? What kind of exercise I need to do, right? Okay, so people are telling, hey, do this one, do that one, this will benefit, right? So what I do is basically I got the knowledge from various people, right? So then I try to take one practice. Okay, let me do this one, right? And then see how I'm progressing, right? So for example, there is a practice, Indian practice, Surya Namaskar, right? Surya Namaskar, somebody say, hey, do 108 times. So I was basically 108 times is impossible for me, right? So I started with 10 only, right? It was painful initially, right? Then I started 15, 20, and I continued with that practice uh, because uh, uh, because I felt that okay, it is going to help me, and I believed that one, and I started, and in fact I started getting understanding of that one. Oh, okay, this is helping me, and it is helping me, in fact my sugar level and all those things getting better, right? So I came to a point that slowly practicing I was able to do 108. There was no challenge for me that time, but initially when I was doing 10, I was feeling that okay, this is too much for me. So this is what I'm telling here. So how I did this one, basically there is a master who, when you say master, it doesn't have to be a professional or someone that is giving you knowledge, right? You take anyone as a master. Somebody on the roadside told you that one, hey, this is good. So that person became master for you, as long as you consider that information is valuable for you and you need to take some action on that one. So that, and you follow that ideology or any method whatever you got from that one and try to practice. So when you start practicing, right, then you understand that methodology or practice, and then you basically learn more about it, and then you gain true understanding of that one. So that is the first step, right? So then what happens? So while going through the practice, then you are understanding, hey, the master said, that one master said that okay, you need to do this way, right? I followed, but is there something I can do better? So you try to learn from different masters. So you try to research, you try to go to Google, you try to go to different sources of different books, understand, right? So you basically you are trying to learn from multiple. So then you basically go to the next stage. Basically, I'm talking about SU. SU is basically first step where you are learning from one master without really understanding why the master said this way. But you are by practicing, you are understanding everything. Then Ha becomes you are bringing multiple masters into picture, basically getting information from various sources and trying to analyze and understand more thoroughly. Re comes to a picture where basically you got information from multiple masters. Now you are thinking, no, let me think myself. Should I do this way, right? So now you are basically becoming innovative and creating your own. So that is where re comes, and this is the last step, last stage, where basically you become the real master, right? So that's the idea behind Suhari. So we'll talk quickly here. So basically follow the rule. So you have a master, means okay, as I said, master doesn't mean that okay, formal master, right? Anyone could be a master, anyone who, so you, but you are listening to that person and getting understanding from that one. So in the beginning stage, the student follow the teaching of one master precisely. She or he concentrate on how to do the task without worrying too much about the underlying theory. If there are multiple variations on how to do task, he concentrate on just the one way his master teaches him. So that's the key when you are practicing. For example, on the agile, right? So we have different practices. We have stand up, we have planning, we have refinement, we have retro, we have grooming, those things, right? So many practices are there in the software IT industry, right? Non-IT, there are many things. They are following different things, right? So when you are doing this one, see that okay, if a new practice is coming, first follow the person came with that practice, and you try to imitate and try to do that one as long as you feel comfortable about it, right? And continue to a stage where you can think that okay, let me try to learn more, right? So then you go to Ha. So my recommendation would be until you become little bit better with Su stage, do not try to do Ha, because so sometimes we are very much anxious about knowing what should I do next, all those, right? Okay, so we do not do much effort, we do not put much effort or practice on the beginner level, and we directly go to Ha or Re, then we fail. So that is where I want to caution everyone. If you are in a leadership position, if you are working within the team, right, see that any practice you are doing, try to do that one to certain period where you feel comfortable, you feel that okay, you are good. For example, my exercise, I was talking 108 times, right? Okay, so I started, and at a particular time doing 108 times, I felt that okay, it's nothing for me. When I started, it was like 10 times was so difficult, but doing 108 times, it was nothing for me. So that time I felt that okay, I need to switch. So then I added more exercises into play. So that is where basically I went to Ha stage and then re stage, right? So Ha stage is break the rule. At this point, the student begins to branch out. With the basic practices working, he now starts to learn the underlying principles and theory behind the technique. He also starts learning from other masters and integrates that learning into his practice, right? So I think we are good enough here, and be the rule. This is the final stage where now the student is not learning from other people but from his own practice. He creates his own approaches and adapts what he is learning to his own particular circumstances. So this is something that in anywhere you are going, in any work environment, right? Think this one. Think this one when you are working with a team mostly, right? Think that how you can improve yourself by slowly introducing things and slowly moving to the next step and slowly moving to the third step, right? So when you are working with the work environment, right, you have multiple practices. You might be good at A, you might be in re stage for stand up, but you might be in Su stage in planning, right? So you have to see those, identify where where you stand for each of the practices and then improve accordingly. Don't think that all the practices you are following you are in re, or a team saying that we are mature team. Don't think that all the practices they are following they are all in re state. So they might be having like a few of the practices in ha state, so some might be in re state, some may be in su state. So as a leader or as a scrum master or a product owner or a development manager or any stakeholder within the team, right? So you need to identify where you are and how you can improve those areas. So that's the key learning here we should understand. So just to recap here, early stages of learning focuses on concrete steps to imitate, then focus then shifts to understanding principles, and then finally into self-directed innovation. So now we'll go actually to the agile practice, or we'll talk about value and principles, right? But before that, we have to understand what's the difference between agile and waterfall, right? So I want to pause a little bit and ask the team, anyone, one or two people, if there is any quick question we can attend. But I would suggest everyone to put your question on parking lot. But here one or two max, because this Suhari concept is might be new for many people. But I want to see that if everything is clear with the slide.
Just now, question from Santosh. What is the significance of this Suhari?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear your voice.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Santosh, my question is like, what is the significance of this Suhari developmental factory model in Agile practice? Is Agile also following the same method, or what is the reason that you give this example here?
Okay, so this practice, this is a very good question. So as I said, the example I gave about my exercise practice, right? It's nothing to do with Agile, but it is actually with Agile. Agile and Agile methodology, which is implemented or people are doing in IT, business, anywhere, right? So it's just a practice. You can do anything at home. As I said, at home you are doing something. You need to see that how you are implementing Agile in your day-to-day life. That way you are delivering value. Delivering value to whom? Value to yourself, value to your family, value to the community, value to the organization, anywhere. Anything you are doing, think this simple thing. Anything you are doing, if you follow these three steps, Suhari, anything you are practicing new, right? Think of these three steps a little bit, so you will understand what's the greatest value with this one.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
Sure. Any other question?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Rajni. I have a question that how do we incorporate this Suhari principles into any project?
Okay, that's a good question, but I will take this one when we start working, so you will understand this how we are going to do. So,
okay.
But just to give you a quick thing, right? As I mentioned about stand up, for example, right? So team is new, for example, and team doesn't know what is stand up. They are completely doing traditional development, right? So
Okay.
as a scrum master, for example, you are coming to the team and you are new and you are saying, hey, let's see that how we can implement stand up, right? So team is completely new and they don't understand what is stand up. So as a servant leader or a scrum master or whatever role you are bringing a new practice to them, right? So when you do that one to the team will have lot of question definitely, but as a leader you will be basically implementing in a way people understand the practice first. So you have to give the learning steps for them how the stand up works, right? So you will be telling that, hey, you come and do this one. We have 15 minutes. We talk like this, and we do this one. This is the basic step you follow, right? So then the team are doing that one every day. They are coming 15 minutes. They are taking more than 15 minutes. Then they are not following this rule, that. So as a leader, you are basically guiding them, coaching them slowly. Basically they are learning that, oh, this 15-minute stand up is like this, right? Before you actually do a different model in the stand up, right? So stand up is basically, some teams are doing stand up this way, some teams are doing other way. So there is a variation because they have gone to a and restate, where you'll see that why stand up is working for this team very nicely versus why stand up doesn't work for the other team nicely, right? So that is a difference because they have practiced in a better way. They understood what are the challenges they have within the stand up and how they can improve themselves within their team, and what are the methods they have to follow. Even the basic model is given, how they can improve and do that one. So as a servant leader, you will be basically coaching them how they can improve those, how they can go from su to ha, then to re, right? So it will come naturally. So when you understand, so we'll go through some exercises and then we'll do. Then we'll understand. Not understand. We'll have the knowledge, but actually you have to do the practice to get the understanding.
Okay. Okay, because I have a few more questions on this, so I think I'll put it in the parking lot.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Let's put.
Few
So
questions. Yes.
basically, what I'm reminding everyone that you will have a lot of questions maybe. So put those in the parking lot and we'll proceed. Okay.
Okay,
Very
sure. Thank you.
In fact,
thank you.
just to add a point to this, Shuhari basically makes people to be more human. So think from a human perspective, so that and that's the like in sync with the agile, where it is incremental thing. So you start with the low thing and you gradually increment it across, so that you become more agile with the Shuhari.
Very nice. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit and quickly we'll go through. So Agile and waterfall development. The basic model is with Agile. So mostly people know, but people who are new, little bit. And I might not cover in depth about waterfall and Agile that much. So I would ask any newcomer to this. So help yourself by going to Google, going to different sources, find out how we are doing this one, and then try to see that how you can implement this one in your own life. So waterfall, the projects normally, why this is called waterfall? Because it goes through multiple phases like this. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, it goes down, down, down. Finally, water falls into the lake or river, wherever it is going through, right? So the final value is moving through that lake, right? So when we do these waterfalls, so normally the requirements or the whatever ideas are coming, all those, right? So it in the form of requirement, right? Those are coming, and we take a lot of time, spending a lot of effort and to develop those requirements, and that becomes Bible for that project, where basically all the resources they take effort to find out basically how much resources we need, how much time we need, and basically calculate all those. Then they work into the project development life cycle, different phases, and deliver the value at the end, right? So in that phase, basically requirements are fixed, and basically when the requirements are fixed, so what basically we do, that we estimate the amount of resources needed and time basically needed, right? So that's the bottleneck here. So without understanding whether these requirements are really giving value or not, so we basically jump into it and employ a lot of resources and a lot of time, and finally when the project is delivered, you see that, okay, oh, this is not what we expected. So that happens. But with the with the agile methodology, so what we do, we have n number of resources available and this much time available. So because we need to get this particular feature to the customer by this time, so time is available, sorry, fixed. So we know that by this time we need to do. So within that time and the resources we have in hand, so we need to basically find out how much feature we can deliver. So the features that we are going to release to production, that becomes flexible, and we need to come up with the best methodology, the best decision method that we need to apply so that we are really adding value. So you must have seen that projects we are working or we have developed in past, right? Out of 100 requirements, you will see that 80% of the requirement are basically doesn't have any value. Only 20% requirements they provide value, and rest basically doesn't have. So those are waste. So with the understanding of agile, we will be finding out what is the best way to navigate. So this is a similar kind of picture talking about same thing. Quality is in between, but um, plant-driven approach, basically agile, and sorry, this one. I'm sorry, this is wrong. Okay, so not the slide, my talk. So plant-driven, basically the waterfall, and the change-driven approach is basically agile, and so I think we covered this one. Let me move forward. So now let's take a look at the two pictures here and have a little bit better understanding here. Waterfall development, too much work in progress. So when we do this waterfall methodology, as I mentioned, we have different phases. So it will look like this. Some will have different view. So one is requirement, design, implementation, verification. So what happens, all those requirements for the project, they are upfront basically getting signed off by the business people. So team will be working with the business and then solidifying the requirement. They take 1 month, 3 months, whatever, depending on the size of the project, right? And then the team will be jumping into design. They will have a lot of documentation they will go through, and finally they will sign off those documents and saying that this is good. Without so when they are doing all these things, they have a lot of assumptions about the system, assumptions about business requirement, what the customer need, all those things, and based on those assumptions they are going and implementing the product, right? When I'm saying implementing, basically coding, developing, putting into different environment, testing will be happening here. No, this is the final verification. Unit testing and system testing will be happening, and then we basically put that one to the business side, and there will be UAT, and people will be doing verification, and finally we are saying that okay, this is good, we release that one to production, then it is on customer's hand. So what happens, finally the product is packaged here, and then it is delivered. So at this point, so the customer is getting some value. So when I say some value, because when all these things happening, so there are a lot of assumptions happening. So when it comes to customer hand, you will find that okay, this is not what the customer wanted. Customers were wanting something different, and now you have given. So then it comes back to development and saying that this is a problem, you need to fix this feature, doesn't work for a customer, all those kind of things. So basically traditional model having a lot of problems. So if you see the history and the surveys, 60% of traditional project basically fail. So fails because of that one. So then people were thinking, what is the best way to do? So they came up with the agile methodology, and this is what we are doing. So let me quickly read here. Frequent context switching. So when things are happening, people have a lot of work in hand. So each team member they will have multiple things in their hand. They are switching the context, right? Okay, right now I am working on the design, and next moment I am reviewing the requirement, and then the third moment maybe I'm writing some test cases or something. So all those things are having parallelly, so that is causing problem, and we will do some exercise to understand how context switching creates problem. Then increase overhead, the delivery of value at the end, you see here, and changing something in the middle is extremely difficult. So now requirements are freezed here, and so you are on the design phase or maybe implementation phase, wherever, right? So then customer comes and saying that, hey, can we change this one? Then all your design becomes falsified, or measure of the design is falsified, so you need to rework on the design, you need to work on your implementation. All those things happens because you took it as a batch kind of thing, right? So you have a bigger problem. So if you think differently, how I can accommodate my requirement in the middle, how flexible my design should be, then you will be able to handle those. So that is waterfall with agile delivery method. Basically, it's a incremental delivery method, and we do iteratively. So you see this picture. This is like one iteration. So this one iteration is basically either a 1 week, 2 weeks, or maybe 4 weeks, but it is a shorter span. So within that shorter span, you basically deliver something to the customer right away. May not be all features together, so you find out what feature needs to be delivered right now, what gives the highest value, so you work on that one, and in this iteration you will have all those phases squeezed together and put it here. So you will have only little requirement, you will have little design to be done. That's called emerging design. So you do not upfront design the whole system, create the infrastructure, everything together. You come up with the slightest design that will help, and that will help the future the future 1 or 2 sprint delivery. So when I use the sprint, so we'll talk about sprint, but basically iteration. So within the iteration, how basically we'll be delivering, right? So you take features and you are adding to the main package, right? So you have a small feature here, then you have maybe another 2 or 3 features, or maybe part of the feature, right? Slowly you are incrementing the delivery, and finally at the end you are getting the delivery like this. But why we need to do this one? This is doing in the last, and you are doing same thing in the last. So why not to wait and do this way? So the only thing is, not only thing, there are multiple things. Okay, one thing is you are getting immediate feedback. So when you put this feature, immediate feedback comes to from the customer or your internal business stakeholders, that whether this is working or not working, or what improvement. Maybe this is working, but we need to tweak this one so that we can improve ourselves by getting the feedback, right? So by putting this one, you basically get the quick feedback and also reducing the risk, right? So here there are a lot of risks because you are taking a lot of assumption and understanding that okay, this will work this way, but finally when it comes here, either your project completely failed, your few millions of dollars project is completely tossed out. So you have a bigger risk. So at this point you have bigger risk, right? So by putting this one in a smaller chunk, you basically taking small risk, and you are getting the basically either you are failing fast and understanding what needs to be done, but you have the opportunity to improve, right? So this way it is helping, and finally when you are at this point, because you have gone through the feedback loop, the final product is a better product, and you have less chance to fail. Okay, so this is a picture, waterfall method, and how basically it is perceived, right? So this is how the customer explained. So you are working with the team, you are working with the vendor, supplier, whoever, right? When you are working, okay, you are getting information, you are thinking that this is what the customer needs, right? How the project leader understood it. So sometimes a team is not directly involved with the requirement, the high level requirement or vision statement, whatever, right? Okay, so when information comes to team is very late, so project leaders sometimes they deliver. The project managers, they come and tell that this is what the project needs are. They create the project charter, and with the project charter everything starts, and then requirements comes from people, right? And this is how the analyst design it, right? So so business analyst bringing the requirement, and then designer, architect, they are working on it. So they thought this way and they designed, right? How the programmer wrote it. So this is what, and how the business consultant described it. And how the project was documentation like this, and what operations installed, how the customer was built. It is like a roller coaster, like lot of ups and down, lot of money spent, all those, and how it was supported. But finally you think that this is what really customer was needing. So all those things are basically waste, because we didn't have any mechanism to get the feedback. So because in the last we are thinking that when we implement, we will be basically getting the basically we'll finding out, right? But when you find that this is completely opposite what you deliver, right? So this is the waterfall. So going through the agile, you'll have better success. So how we are delivering value? So as we saw in the previous one, this is just a chart. This is the time and the value delivery. So every sprint or iteration, which is either 2 weeks or 4 weeks or maybe 1 week. So with the smaller time span, so we are delivering something. So value is delivered here. Then next sprint, another chunk of information coming here. But this is the real value. This is not a document or something. This is the actual product delivered to the customer or the business, right? So finally we are doing this one like this, but waterfall is at the end we are getting. So a lot of risk, and maybe like everything will fail, or maybe only little bit value. So now little bit break into that that one, and let's understand what are the different mechanism, methods, practices, framework we have to implement to get into this agile practice, and how we can deliver, right? So we have, this is not exhaustive list, this is just to give you little bit idea. So we have different agile frameworks. We have safe, we have scrum. Scrum is mostly on the team level. Safe is a scaled agile framework where we have team of teams, and trains and the solution train. So we'll talk little bit in the further of the training. We'll understand this one. We have Crystal, we have Kanban, we have extreme programming. Many of the agile practitioners, they use extreme programming. If you are in the IT side mostly. So you'll learn about this one, because many of the folks in this group are from the IT side, I believe. So we'll have one foundation course, XP Foundation. We have feature driven development. Those XP practices, some of the practices: time boxing, user stories, daily stand up, frequent demos, test driven development, information radiator, retrospective, continuous integration. All those things are there. So we'll talk about all these. So this is the tree, Lean Agile tree. So when I did the first introduction, I talked about Lean Agile, human, and how they are connected. To me, the core part of this process is Lean and Agile, and all other things are connected to that one. So Lean Agile thinking. Our mindset, right? So we have Scrum. Scrum is a framework. Kanban is one methodology. XP practices, DevOps practices. Safe is a scaled agile framework. FDD, feature driven development. LACE is another scaled framework. So we'll not talk much on FDD or LACE, but we'll talk more on the left hand side. Kanban definitely will talk. So now we are going to the next step, where we need to understand little bit about Agile Manifesto and the values and principles. because anything, any practices you are doing, right, it is based on certain rules, principles, and if we are not very clear about those principles and the value they give, then the practices we follow or will follow, we might deviate, and at the end you will see, you will say that okay, I am following agile, but actually you are deviating from the route, and then you do not get the right result. So we have to understand what are those values, principles, and how it helps us, right? So Agile Manifesto, little bit history. So there are bunch of people. They were frustrated with water development. In fact, the industry, whole industry was frustrated because many projects were failing, and some people, um, they got grouped together, agile minded. So the term agile was probably not there, or maybe they discovered that time. Agile term is there in the dictionary, but actually using that word and basically integrating with this methodology, right? And how they can give a value to the community. So they basically went to Utah and talked about 2002. So they started talking, group of people, right? So what is the outcome from that meeting is basically we are uncovering better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others do it, right? So our training program also kind of same thing, right? Okay, so we are doing it and helping others do it, right? So we are learning together and growing together, right? Similar, right? Through this work we have come to value. So they have come to a value, and what are those? They came to 4 values, right? So you can go to Google and find out, if you are not aware of this Agile Manifesto. So you can go to agilemanifesto.com or org, something like that, and you will be able to find all the information, right? So in this I have 4 values, and we'll talk about at the bottom. It says while there is a value in the item on the right, we value the items on the left more. So I'm not talking about this right or this left. I'm talking about in this sentence there is a left and right, right? So what Agile says that okay, they value, although they value the right side, they value the left hand side more. So what is that? Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So the first is basically anytime we are talking about agile, and when we are talking about agile, whether we are at home or whether we are at work, right? So we are essentially working with people, right? And we are getting result out of those people. So we get best result only when we basically interact with those people in a way that gives value, right? Sorry, in between I am just getting interrupted because a lot of people are joining back and forth, so I have to click admit. So individual and interactions over processes and tools. So what it meant to say that day to day we are using a lot of tools. We have a lot of processes, right? We have so many documentation to follow and do all those things, right? We are not saying that okay, those are not having any value, right? For example, we are bringing Slack tool, or we are bringing Trello, we are having Google, all those tools are there, right? We have to precisely find out what tool and processes gives us value and how much, and we should not be bugged upon those tools and technology much. Instead we should give value to individual and their interaction. For example, we have created 2 rooms, and we'll be talking within the room and finding out what are the challenges, how we are doing agile, what process practices gives value, and all those things, right? When you start talking to people, when you start having interaction with them, right? So you will have more value. For example, in project, right, we are working in stand up, or we are working and sitting there, people are developing, right? So you might have seen that okay, people just sitting aside, and the person is basically sending through chat message saying that hey, can you do this one, right? The person is right there in the left hand side, but the person is not talking to him or her directly, talking about what the person needs to do, right? is just like, okay, you turn your face and talk to the person, or you stand and the opposite side the person is sitting and doing something. Just you can basically, you, if you have that kind of trust, if you have that kind of relationship built within the team, as a leader we have to look into that one also, right? So if those things are there, you, it will give much more value than somebody sending through email. People will say that, hey, I'm sending this email because tomorrow you will not say that, okay, I didn't do this one. So if that kind of behavior coming, that means we are not a good team, or the team has not come to a stage they need to understand how they can work together and deliver value. So all those things will come. So what, as a leader or servant leader or the scrum master or whatever, right, you need to find out how you need to create the team, how you need to create the environment where people can work together and have the interaction in a better way, not through process and tools. I'm not saying that not to use, but use that one to a minimum where we can keep for the history purpose or whatever value, but not to say that, okay, you did not do this one, this is the proof. Those kind of behaviors are not good, right? So that is the first value. So any practice you are doing, see that you are aligned with this particular value or not, value statement. So and see that where you are falling, and as a coach how you can improve this situation. Second one is working software over comprehensive documentation. So if I am in the project, right, if I come and saying that, hey, my design document is done to the business, how much value the business gets? I would say nothing, because he'll say, oh, you have finished the design, okay, satisfaction is there definitely, but does that give any end value? Is that giving the person to give the feedback to the designer that, yeah, you have done a good job? No, there is no information, the person cannot. So when we are talking about any kind of value, right, it has to be in a form that, okay, the other person who is receiving, he really gets the value, right? So here we are saying working software, this is very much IT oriented, right? But people do not take exactly this is working product. You can think of any working product, anything, anywhere you are going, right? Whether you are in health, you are healthcare, or you are in the for finance, or you are in any kind of industry, right? Even training also, like my training product is basically my delivery here. What I am delivering, is it giving any value, right? If I start just come up with 20 slides and go through quickly and say that this is what the knowledge areas you need to know, right, doesn't give any value, right? Okay, it has to, people need to understand what is the thing behind the scene, right? So if I am doing something and that doesn't give any value, basically it's waste. I'm not following any principle, right, or value, right? So now the fourth one is customer collaboration over contract negotiation, right? So when you work with people, when you work with customer, right, right. So what happens, right? The customer gives us some requirement, and then we work with that one, and then tomorrow customer comes and say that, okay, I need to have some changes, right? So what happens then? You start saying that, no, it was on the contract. For example, supplier or contractor, they are working, hey, on the contract we had this one, so I cannot do this one, you need to pay me this much, or we are in the middle, I cannot take it, right? So the best way to get value out of it is basically we need to have a mechanism where we can have collaboration between customer and the team working, right? And instead of contract negotiation, saying that it was in the contract, right? So we need to find out what is the best way we can handle this one, right? And responding to change over following a plan. So as we are human, we are always there to find that, okay, something is not right at this point and we need to make a change, right? So where I am from, maybe I am from the business side, right? So I made a mind yesterday saying that, hey, I need this product, but tomorrow I'll be thinking that, okay, no, market is changing, okay, we have a lot of competitors, and to compete with them, I need to change, right? I need to change my mind at this point, because what I said yesterday doesn't work today, right? So when customer is coming and asking the development team that, okay, hey, we need to change, if we are not in the position or we are not flexible enough to take the change and work on it in the right way, then basically we will fail, right? We'll say that no, we cannot take it, so that means we are not working together in the way it has to be, in the agile way, right? We are not flexible. So to be flexible, right, we have to have mechanism, right? So as a leader, again, I'm saying that we have to have technology, or we need to have methodology, or the way we are working. We need to change our style. We need to change the way we are responding. So that is where we need to understand. It's not about just saying that, okay, hey, we are following agile, and will be basically taking change anytime and do whatever, right? But if we do not have the infrastructure ready, if we do not have way to take the change, right? I have seen many of the people have mentioned about the challenges, right? Because the organization is not ready. I feel that organization is not paying attention to how we can take the change, right? So those kind of things, right? So we need to understand, and as a leader, you need to understand, and it starts with you. You need to give the feedback to the management. You need to find out the best way to handle it, so you can be in a better position to tell management, tell leadership that there is a better way, and we can do this one in a better way and deliver value to the customer faster and all those. So I think I spoke about this one. So let's see a few funny or fun stuff here. Just read through, and I'm going to keep quickly. And I'm hoping that if you have any question, you can go to parking lot for your team and start adding question, because I know people will have question. There is no doubt about it. And while going through the question answer session within your team and with me later, we'll find out how we are helping each other to understand the things better. Okay, so here I want to speak a little bit. So many people in agile environment think that, okay, manifesto says that, okay, this gives value, but it always says that other things also important for us. So left has more value than right, but this is not. So some people think that, okay, right side is completely omitted. We don't need to do this one. For example, documentation. Oh, why you are documenting this one? No, documentation is required. So to a minimal that is necessary. For example, in the project management, we need a project charter. So with waterfall, we have like 20, 30 page document gives detailed information, and so how many people read that charter doesn't means there is no information. So documentation is only for the management, where they basically go through that one and talk about it. But the real delivery is happening by the team. They really don't read the charter, because it really doesn't have value, right? So but how much percentage? Maybe one page is sufficient for everyone to look into what this project is and what's the vision, and what is our goal and what we are delivering, right? So minimum documentation is fine, and there will be definitely process. Agile itself, what methodology practices we are doing, you will see that some processes are there, but lightweight. So the process is always there, and contract is always there with contracting company, supplier, vendors. There is nothing that way. So we'll have, and it says no plan. No plan is always there. To a minimum. And sometimes people feel change is free because we are saying that we are agile, we are flexible, we can take change anytime. But that's not true. Change is not free. Anytime change is coming, it impacts the team, and we manage it, but it impacts and it costs money. So bottom line, agile values, let's summarize, right? Focus on interacting with people and getting feedback. This is the most important thing, and people fail many times. They say that we are agile, we are matured agile team, but you'll find that many organizations, I would say most of the organizations, they have this problem, interacting with people and getting feedback, right? Only few teams who really understand, they actually follow this one and they really get value. Delivery, working product yearly and continuously to get the feedback, because the moment you deliver something, you basically get feedback. So in my previous slides where I was showing the circles and it was going, so basically I was saying do the change little bit, don't try to plan for huge, right? So that's waterfall or batch process kind of thing. So do little, understand basically through the feedback, right? The feedback will give you whether it is working, what improvement you need to do, all those things. And there are process within this, you will understand. And many people within this group, they are very knowledgeable and they understand that, okay, how the feedback works, right? Take a collaborative approach. So collaboration is key, right? So and respond to, so the collaboration, the third value where we said that basically collaboration is most important than the contract negotiation. It should be collaborative approach, right? When you are working with your suppliers, vendors, right? Or the customer, right? So you need to have collaboration. And if they are not the part of the team, they are not working with you collaboratively, that's a big problem, and organizations fail also for that one, right? They'll come after 3 months or something, they will be saying that, okay, I need this one and this is what I was looking for, but why you guys are doing this one? So those kind of problem will come. Respond to change. So basically we should be flexible, we should have mechanism to respond to change. So now we have the values, 4 values. Now we need to think a little bit about principles and our mindset, right? So basically we need to explore, embrace and apply agile principle and mindset within the context of product delivery team and organization, right? So what are those? So here just one thing. So basically many people think that, okay, this agile principle and all those are philosophical things and they ignore and they fail. Sorry, failure on my part. I was trying to get this to everyone. Hold on 1 second, I'm trying to find the chat.
I think you already shared it with us on Slack.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Joaquin, can you guide little bit on that one? So, okay, so there is a link, I'm trying to go there, but in Slack I have provided this link. So if you have access, but some people might not have, so that's what I'm trying to find my chat box.
Yeah, it's already in the chat.
Already in chat. That's good. That's good. Okay, thank you. So so let me open that one. So I would ask everyone to open this document. There is a purpose. So let's talk about Agile principles. So we have 12 principles. So this Agile manifesto, they have created 4 values and 12 principles. And I am not going to dive into each of the principles very deep. I'll go little bit and then I'll explain 2 principles and I'll give rest 10. Basically, we have 10 teams. I expect that from each team we'll be getting some information in depth, not this session, but next session. So what we'll do is basically uh, assign each of these. I have already assigned, in fact, starting from 3, like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, like that. It is assigned, and I will give responsibility to each team to do offline research together with the team, so they can have with the Slack or whatever, and then take leadership, right? Somebody might say that, hey, I am taking in charge of this one, but we'll collaborate and we'll get the best value out of this one. So what I mean to say that if you are taking the third one, which says deliver working software frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months with a preference to a shorter time scale, right? So this is the principle, and this principle I need to explain to the group in a better way through visual, through different example, all those whatever possible, right? What value it is connected with. So you will do the offline research. So this will give you opportunity for you to understand 12 principle, because you will be going to agilemanifesto.com. You will go to Google, try to find out value of this one, or the what principle this is and how it is connected, right? So it will give you the ground where you need to basically research and learn yourself, right? And then finally you are coming to this group and telling people that this is what this principle talks about. So I
Vishnu,
feel that
sorry to interject. This is Arvind.
yes.
Can we get this link in our email so that we can easily anytime use the link to get into it?
Through the email
Or we have to, because if we, when you conclude this session,
mhm.
if I have to go back to the link, how I will see the link?
So it is on the Slack.
It is in the Slack actually, yeah.
Okay.
So what we that is where we are bringing Slack. So if you go to Slack and the channel general, you will find out. If you will scroll through, you will find out we have said
Okay.
principles,
So
and
to get into Slack. Okay.
yes. So that is where we are saying people that please join Slack, and then we'll be putting you to the teams, respective team, and you will be able to collaborate through that team activity. And offline, I would respect everyone's time, but we have to spend little bit time. It is not me coming and giving you lecture or anything that will make you full-fledged person to understand this agile thing. So you have to take initiative. It is on you, as I said, right? It starts with you. If you think that I'll go through the training, you will have a lot of knowledge maybe, but you have very little understanding. So for you to understand, you need to work on it. You need to understand. And the terminology, it says that delivering working software. So don't think that this is only IT. This is also non-IT. Just take out the software word. It's a working software, working product, working service, whatever. Change the language. Then you will understand that this is not for IT. This is for everyone. That is where I said that this training is for everyone, because this is not only IT. It is for everyone. Only thing, you have to change the wording that will suit to you. Okay. So there are 12. So this is basically 12 principles, and let's go through them quickly. So Agile principle 1. So the first principle, it talks about our value delivery. So our highest priority is to satisfy customer through yearly and continuous delivery of valuable software, right? So the words very tricky, and we have to understand each of them clearly. Customer, we have to satisfy customer, right? We have to understand anything we are working in the team environment or at home. At home, my customers are my kids and my wife, or my parents, or whoever, right? They are my customer. And if I am doing something, what am I doing? Am I satisfying the customer through the delivery, that is the value that I need to deliver? I am delivering yearly and continuous. By giving the value continuously to the customer, I am getting the feedback and understanding that I should do this way or that way, right? So this is the number one, and that is my highest priority. As a person or a team or the organization, the highest priority is to satisfy customer, and the goal is basically deliver valuable product yearly and continuously. Anything that helps in our goal should be considered. Anything we are doing that is not helping in our goal, team might be working, right? In the stand up, you will see many people must have seen, they will be in the stand up, they will be talking about task, and if I ask, okay, why are you doing this task, what value or what goal it is aligned with, people have no answer. So that means it has to be dropped immediately, because if you are doing something, it is not connected with your value or the overall vision or goal, then it is basically waste. So this is where, as a leader, you have to understand, as a scrum master, product owner, whoever you are in the team, you have to keep this one. This is your highest priority, or your goal should be there to see that what basically what team is working on, what is the priority. So there might be 10 items in the backlog. We'll talk about backlog for new people. The term may be new, completely new. Backlog is basically is a placeholder where all those requirements, stories, epic, features, all those are stored, right? We'll talk about it. But so those, if we are having a lot of items and people are working on it, so we have to see that whether we have priority or not, right? So going to the second principle. Second principle is welcome changing requirements even late in development. Agile process harness change for the customer's competitive advantage, right? We talked about it is linked to the fourth value, right? Welcome changing requirement even late in development, right? So you are working on it, and you have almost complete with the project or something, but customer comes and say that I need to have this one changed, right? So we need to see that how much we are flexible and how we can basically take it. It's not about personal choice that okay, I am willing to take it or not. It is all about how flexible we are and how we are making ourselves available, means the team, means the processes we have, whether we have with DevOps practices, automation there, right? If I take this one, how quickly I can deliver, right? If this change is going to change my life completely, means it will take another 100 hours, and my system is not there to help me, so then we are not flexible enough. So as a leader, we have to see that teams who are working on it, how they can take the change immediately, right? Do we have automation, right? As I said, do we have automation? Do we have processes to deliver quickly? Do we have processes to keep this one in production and not hampering direct customer, right? All those things we'll be talking, right? So uh, so this principle, when you are working, keep that in mind, that okay, welcome changing requirement even late in the development, right? So now three. So third one is assigned to team alpha. I will only give a little bit information, but next session I will expect that team is ready, and this particular slide access is given to everyone, right? So you come to this slide and put whatever you want to, picture, writing, how you can, and make sure that the person who is going to talk, he is ready. So when we do this one, you'll be able to quickly share and talk, or maybe I'll be sharing and only talk, right? So similarly, other teams are assigned to all those. So let me quickly tell, delivering working software frequently from a couple of weeks to a couple of months with a preference to a shorter time span. So we talked about iterative development and incremental development. So this is linked with that one, right? So we are talking about delivering product frequently, right? From a couple of weeks. So Agile team takes about takes like 1 week to 4 weeks, and consider that as a iteration or a sprint. And within that time, they think what can be delivered, right? What can be delivered is not just a documentation or something. What can be delivered to the production and customer can actually enjoy it. So right now, I can guarantee that many organizations who are working in the agile environment, they say agile, but they are not ready in this form, right? They cannot produce working software, working product, and deliver to customer in couple of weeks or couple of months. They take longer time. Even though development is complete, the system is not there, the facility, the infrastructure, environments or whatever, right? So those are not ready for them, or the organization is itself not ready in the form to deliver those value to the customer, right? So this is a challenge definitely, and we have to see that how as individual, how working with the team, how as a team leader, how we are basically understanding this one, and what the tools, technology, everything that needs to be there to help us in doing this delivery faster. So this thing we have to understand. So that's the reason the last course is DevOps practices or DevOps foundation. That is something very key to this, how we can utilize those in even XP practices, right? How we can work together to understand that one, and how as a leader we can guide leadership team, management team on this value delivery, faster delivery. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project, right? Many practices we have within Agile, right? We'll talk about those practices, but many practices are there where people need to work together. First value says individual and interaction, right? So and our highest priority goes to the value delivery, and value is delivered when people are working together every day throughout the project. You will see that within organization, the product owners, they will think that okay, we are the managers, and we'll come to the team and give the requirement, and maybe after a month come back and give some suggestion on the requirement or new requirement. They go back to their fun place, and then think that the team is delivering. So that is not agile. That is not going to work. That is not the way it has to work, right? So so if you are the scrum master, you need to find out how you negotiate with the product team, how you need to negotiate with the stakeholders, how they can come. You are working with the team, you are working with the compliance, security, HR team, finding people, all those things, right? How you are working together and every day, and finding out how you are delivering value. Things will be visible to everyone, right? If you are not bringing people together, then you have bigger problem. Build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done, right? So when we are working with the team, right, we have to see that what we are delivering, what product we are doing, right? Okay, we have to have balance uh, between people, right? We cannot get all skills into one team, everything available, then only we can produce, right? So that is never possible. But if we have the skills, that is going to work out in a way, we can grow the individuals, and then get the value, that will be fine, right? So how we need to do? We need to do this one by motivating people, right? Or people who are already motivated and they are willing to work in a way, in an agile way, and then deliver, right? So we need to find those. That's the reason HR task is becoming very challenging nowadays, right? Finding the right people or people who are basically willing to bend themselves, right? So this is where another challenge, but we need to see as a leader, we need to find those motivated people. And when you find those people, you have to motivate them by giving them the environment. For example, you are in a team, right? You are motivated. You know what agile is, what practices we need to follow, and how we need to change, right? But the environment is not there, as I said before, right? To make the change, the environment should support it, right? If leaders are there, they are not giving them those support. There are a lot of impediments coming to the team, and team is struggling. And as a scrum master or product owner or your manager, development manager, they are not supporting them, then it will not work. So build the project around motivated people, give them the environment and support they need. And trust is most important. People might fail sometime and people might do mistake, right? But trust that team will find out how to go around and how they can solve the thing. If you think that okay, failure came and you start blaming people and thinking that okay, hey, what is happening here, okay, you are not doing this one, take to the room and start teaching them left and right, that is not going to happen, right? Trust people that okay, within the team these people are there, self-organized, basically give them the authority, give them the autonomous, and they can do something, right? If you as a leader, if you can trust them, not commanding and controlling them, right, you'll find that results are coming. So that is another big thing. Effective method of conveying information to and within development team is face-to-face conversation. This is the first thing I mentioned, right? Interaction, individual and interaction, right? Face-to-face conversation is very essential. There are very different types of communications happens, right? Verbal communication. Within verbal communication, also there is one specific type I want to explain because most of the communication people understand. One is osmotic communication. Osmotic communication is something like, example, I'm sitting here, I'm talking to XYZ and talking about a problem, right? So we are having a dialogue, and the another third person who is sitting just opposite to me or maybe side, he or she is listening to that one because I'm talking, he or she can listen clearly. We are co-located and voice is going. So now the third person somehow thought that okay, whatever conversation we are having, maybe it is not ending up with a good result, and the third person is having some good idea. So immediately the third person comes and tells that okay, interrupts and saying that hey, you are talking about this challenge, right? Okay, I think if you do this one, then it will help and you can solve, right? The matter is done there. Basically the information is given, so that is called osmotic communication. So it's basically I didn't ask the third person, but the third person somehow heard through the air, and then he is coming back and communicating and giving the value right there. Maybe the information immediately whatever the person gave at this point it didn't work, but that communication helps a lot, and I have seen and I have basically given with my career. I have working with the team, right? I have taught people how to utilize this communication very nicely so that okay, they understand each other, right? Okay, people do not feel that okay, why are you interrupting me? By really putting people understand this one and coaching the people that what value you get it, so that there will be no basically barrier between them, so they know that okay, I can come to anyone and talk to anyone based on what is going on, right? So uh, so you have to see that how the osmotic communication works better. So look into Google and find out what value you can give. Number 7 is working software is the primary measure of progress. I think one of the value it talks about working software versus documentation. So we will basically through practice you will understand this one. So anything you are delivering, think that what you are delivering, is it something I am delivering doesn't give any value, direct value. So if it is not linked with the direct value, then it is basically doesn't have anything to do, right? So think that how soon and how quickly you can deliver value. Agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. So Agile process basically talks about this particular one, and in XP you will see this one also, sustainable development, right? So we are working on the with the team, and we are doing particular product and development, and we are also part of maintenance, we are part of something else, we have many things going in the plate, right? So what happens, especially this is very crucial for the leadership team, that we should clearly understand that team who are working, right, they are coming here 8 to 5, and they have family, we have family, everybody has family, right? And we need to see that how they are working together, and how they are delivering, and how it helps them also, right? So if we are creating a plan, and that plan is so much tight, and we think that these people are like robots and they can do anything, right? So then you'll be planning in a way that, okay, think that, okay, I'll create a plan which is basically they have this capacity, and I'll be basically put 100% capacity on them and let them work. And now a production support issue comes. Okay, so you are part of the team and you are assigned to this particular production support area. So there is a problem, you need to fix it immediately. You need to fix it. Okay, so okay, I'm ready to fix it now. Okay, after I fix, I have spent a whole day completely. Now my other things are there. Oh no, oh, you committed to that one, so you need to do that one also because you committed. So that is not the way sustainable pace is, right? So that is not going to help anyone. So we need to see that as a leader, how we are making things happen in a way that team can sustain forever. Like when they can, when they come to the office in the morning, they are feeling fresh and feeling happy that, oh, I am coming to the office and I am good. I can spend my day nicely here. I have these items in my hand, and I might get production support work here and there, and how I am managing within the team, how team is working together to solve the thing. So this is where you need to see, and with agile process you will find out how this is nicely put into place, how we can manage things in a sustainable way. Continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility, right? So this is more into architecture and design, and we have to see that, okay, how we are bringing this one in a way that we are helping the development in a continuous way, right? So when we are working with the waterfall, we have basically a standard design created upfront, and then we are working with that one based on lot of assumption, all those things. And when something changes, then you have bigger problem, right? So here with agile, we talk about design, emerging design, where basically design upfront is not fully fleshed out. So we basically constantly look into the design and refactor and go, right? So at this point, this is the feature we are developing, and for this feature to be developed or delivered to the customer, what is the minimal design I need to do, right? And also I know immediately after one sprint or so, I need to have feature B and C, and what is the minimum design that I need to do, and the very basic understanding of the architecture, what architecture I need to follow, right? So all those things, these are challenging things because you are going with this design. As you go, you basically come up with design. As you go, you are basically finding out your best way of doing things, right? So we need to have good technical excellence, and we need to find the right people who can navigate through this and help the team to do this one. So technical agility is basically essential. Means we are telling that okay, you are flexible enough with your technical skill set, and see that how you can change the things on the go. So this is what another thing. Simplicity. So this is most important from the business side. We have to very much pay attention and read the line very carefully. Simplicity, the art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. So read the line, work not done. So it's saying that amount of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential. So it's not saying work done. So what it means, basically we have to think the simplistic approach. Means the example I gave, if I have 100 requirements, only 20 requirements are really giving value, other rest 80 is basically waste. So that means the art I'm talking is how can I maximize how can I maximize my effort in finding those waste. So if I have the good art to find out, or maximizing the amount of work not done, means that will not required to be done, then the product or the services I'm going to deliver to the customer, it will be very simple and very easy for me to deliver, and I can deliver it in essentially in timely manner, right? So from the product side, the product management, the product owners, they should be clearly understanding the priority or the vision of the organization, the portfolio or the program, and how they can navigate through that one to find out these are the these are the items, these are the highest priority for us, and this is the value we are getting, and rest these are not required, or what value we are getting. So we'll go through the prioritization method and find out those. But if this is not necessary, basically take out the waste. So that is what all this principle is about. Anything you are working with, basically think of simplicity, think of what is waste, just take it out. So next is the best architecture requirements and designs emerge from self-organizing team. So here the word self-organizing team comes into picture, and this is key for any high-performing team. We have to understand that um, that the team working together with their skills. Some people are knowing certain things, some people are not knowing, and how they are working together to deliver the thing, right? So we'll definitely work on this self-organizing aspect of this principle little bit more, but here you need to understand that as a whole team, they basically work together on all the requirements, and the team is basically cross-functional. So I know automation, maybe the other person doesn't know. Somebody knows Java, somebody knows front end, somebody knows back end, and all those, and somebody is very much familiar with different types of design, all those things. So maybe take lead. So, but they are working together, they are finding ways how they can solve the problem. So basically, if the team is self-organizing, not siloed, so you'll find that some teams, team members are siloed. Basically, they will say that, okay, hey, give me my task, I will work on it. Don't worry about it. So tomorrow I will deliver this one, and then you can take it and move forward. So that is not self-organization. So team, when they are working together, they are working together towards common goal. They are understanding what is going on right now, and how they are moving one thing together at a time. And for that one thing to be done together, they are architecting, they are going through the requirement, they are understanding together. If we ask a particular requirement, everybody will say that I understand the requirement. This requirement requires this development, and this much testing is needed, and this is the design we are going through. Every member of the team will be understanding. If you have a team, and if they don't understand or if they do not work on that kind of mode, they are not self-organized, they are siloed, even though they talk about agile. So this is what, as a leader, your job is to see that how you coach the team, how you bring the team to a position where you can bring self-organization only when you'll see that high performance is coming. So you need to look in. So this is one of the most important aspect of any leader, anything that we are talking here, and mostly I think people in this group, they are looking for this kind of skill set, and you need to see how you can do this one. At regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. So this is coming to the last part where you are basically learning. So you are getting feedback and learning, and through the learning process you are taking action, and then basically improving. So the picture which I had put, the three circles, it is moving from yellow to blue, right? So that's about it. So we have something called retrospective. It's basically introspection kind of thing. So when you are working on the product, so you are basically working with people, you are working with the process, and you are working with the product, right? Three things, right, together. So all those three things, right? So when you are working with people, you are finding problem with people, you are finding something working out good with people, what is working good with the people, what is not working with the people, right? The product, this product, okay, we delivered, this part is good, that other part is not good, what improvements need to be done, right? And then the process, we have so many process, we are following this process, that process. Stand-up doesn't work for us because of this one, or in the stand-up this particular thing works very nice, okay, let's do this one, right? Understanding those, and basically bringing improvement continuously into that one, that is required. And if you do that one at the end of the year, it will not give you that much effect. So you need to regularly do that one. So that is the reason we have iteration. In each iteration there is an opportunity. At the end of the iteration you will see that basically we are meeting, we are working with the team, we have the sprint review that gives some feedback about the product, and on the retrospective you will have the basically opportunity to come up with information that you can present as a scrum master. You can basically take the information to the team that this thing is working out good, or the team will understand that one. You basically give the fact that this is something that is giving this result, and how we can improve on this one. So this is all about review and retrospective, and this is everything, all principle what we discuss, right? All 12 principle, four values, those are so critical and so tightly coupled, right? If you miss one of them, anything you are doing, and if it is not aligned with any of the values and principle, then we are de-aligned and will not get good result. So this is the bottom line of Agile, and if we understand this bottom line, and if you do anything, whether you take Suhari thing or whatever, or you are following this process, that process, but if everything is aligned to this Agile values and principle, in a way that the team is finding out the best way of doing whatever practice they are following. The practice A might be working for team A, practice A might not work for the team B. So we need to see that how they are utilizing it, and what they are doing, and how it is connected with the principle, right, and values. And then your job is to basically guide them, not command or control. Remember, only thing, when you are in leadership, you have to think that how you are exhibiting servant leadership by guiding, coaching, and growing people, motivating people, not by command and control. So this one, the two things you should completely forget. If you have somehow that part, command and control, is not going from you. For example, you are a manager thinking that, oh, manager, I am a manager, I have lot of power, I can use my muscles right now, I can scold someone because this person did not do this one, okay, this is not successful, I will go and pull all those team members and basically tell them this one, I'll trust them, this, that, all those behavior will not work in Agile environment. So we have to see that how we are basically working with the team, how we are growing them, right? If there is a problem, there is an opportunity for us to basically coach them, right? It's not opportunity for us to trash them, right? We have opportunity to grow them. So this is where you need to learn how we need to change our behavior. This is the time for us to learn. Day one, nothing will change. Day one, everything, you will not be perfect, right? But there is an opportunity for you to start, right? And there is never ending. There is no ending to this one. So every day we learn something, right? Today I am learning something. Today I am learning from books. Tomorrow I am learning from you guys. Today I am learning from you guys. All those things, everything's everywhere. The environment is there for you to learn, right? And you have to practice, 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 practice. That will give you the best way to understand and then do something better tomorrow. So that's basically the gist of Agile. And then we'll go, sorry, my slide is not moving. Okay, this slide, so sorry, this slide is over. I have to go back to the other one. I'm going to stop share, and time check is 1:44. 1:45. I think I completely without stop did this one only because this is a string. If I put this one in the middle, then there will be a lot of rework. But I believe that okay, you guys were patiently listening to me, and I know 100% that there will be a lot of questions, and we'll be talking about those questions, all those in the next session. But I would suggest everyone to put the question offline or online right now. We can take a look at it in the next session. It is 1:45. Whoever wants to drop off, I am good, but I can definitely stay here for a couple of minutes, sometime whatever possible for me. But what I can say that this is a good start for us. So let's see how we can do this one in a nicer way, understand each other, understand these principal values, and get good values out of it.
Hey, if before people leave, I would suggest that they fill out the feedback form. It's in the chat, and it's also in the Slack group.
Definitely. Thank you, Joaquin. Definitely, I'm forgetting all the time about the feedback form, but thank you for telling people.
Thank you, Vishnu. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And anyone having question at this point, I am open.
Vishnu, thank you so much. This was useful. I have a question. So sometimes we have the whole team and sometimes we don't. And there are a few people I believe haven't attended it because I see that they're not marked attended at all in the for all three sessions. So should we just take up with whoever's in the team? Do we just take up certain roles and move on, or should we try to contact them?
Okay, no, this is a good question, Anita. So, so I have seen that okay, some teams have only 2 people, some 3 like that, but some measure of the group having more people, and I have pre-assigned Scrum Master for some team. So at this point, what I would say that when we are working together, even within the Slack, right? So let's start interacting and find out how you need to handle your team, right? It is your team, and within the team, I said that okay, this person is Scrum Master. Maybe that person will say, no, I am not willing to do this one, and can someone else volunteer to this role, or product owner? So it is not fixed. It is not fixed, and maybe the team who have like 2 members, right? So if that team say, hey, this is a small team, I want to join some other team, or maybe how about moving one member from each group and put in the other group, right? So if people are willing, then I can basically adjust that one, or talk to people. We have the group and get adjusted. I want to see that how you guys are interacting and getting this one by yourself done, right? So I am not putting any restriction. I'm at this point, I'm not putting any restriction saying that this team, these members and these are the roles. These are only pre-assigned, and at this point I would say that feel free to basically make the change, but do not try to do in a way that will not work out for us. For example, if one says that I want to go to a particular team and many people are trying to go to that team, and that team is 15 members, other team like 2 or 3, that will not balance out. So see that how we can balance out. So I would say like so if some group having like 7 or 8 members and some are 2, then adjust within ourselves, or maybe I can help also. I'll look into that one and adjust people, and then re-communicate that okay, this is a new arrangement based on attendance. So that way it will help us.
Vishnu, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Maybe we can practice Scrum of Scrums also in this particular perspective. So
Yes,
by basically by jumbling upon the people with the different scenarios, from moving one on to the one team to another team temporarily, so that they get to interact with different set of people, and this way even we'll be able to give them a flavor of Scrum of Scrums, which happens generally in a large organizations with
Understand,
one
Rohit.
product.
Understand, Rohit. So I want to just not confuse people about the Scrum of Scrum. There are different practices of Scrum of Scrum, and the practice you are talking is there. I have seen that practice also, but let's talk about Scrum of Scrum. It is little bit different. The one you are talking is little different. So let's not jump into that one. So let's not use the Scrum of Scrum terminology for that one. Let's talk about like how people can go from one team and join other, and get the understanding of what is going on. That we can definitely do. So um, it all about terminology, right? So we need to understand the terminology in the proper way. Uh, so I'd say let's just pause on that one little bit, if you don't mind. Okay. So any other question?
Hey, Vishnu, Alok here.
Yes, Alok.
Yes, I think I speak for all of us. Very sincere thanks. That long monologue was absolutely needed. The flow, that narrative was very good, very educative. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Alok.
Hello.
Yes, Alberto.
Yeah. I support Alok for what he has said. Good information. But I will strongly suggest everyone has discipline. Respect the time box. Come on time. We start at the same time, no matter what. Then give 5 minutes biology break. Because sitting alone for 2 hours stretch, I don't think is the best. This is online class. People need to move around. People need to take biology break. Even yourself.
Very good. No, definitely. This is a bad part from my side, and on the organization side. So I was thinking, but I'm forgetting. So sorry about this one. I'm a human being, and this is a mistake from my side. And thanks for reminding me, Alberto. We'll make sure that we have a break in between. Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone? Thank you, Alberto. Anyone? You can turn on your video just to show you joined. We have still 38 people. So I see a lot of people sending thank you messages, but show your face. That is good. I see Santosh, Subrat, Dina, Manas, Rohit, Divya, Lalatendu, Ravindra, here, Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much for joining the call. Appreciate it. If you have any question, Ritu is also here. Anytime offline, if you want to connect with me, text me through WhatsApp or whatever method. If you have anything, definitely we can chat.
One thing I learned, Vishnu, today, why you gave the name as Sushrita Haripriya. It is Suhari, right? Sushrita Haripriya. Good. That's a good one.
No, that has different meaning, but you are
I'm
trying to
just connecting.
prove that one. That is good.
Okay. Good,
Suhari.
good. Good, good.
I never thought that way.
I was just correlating. Good,
It is,
good.
yeah, it is Suhari. Yes.
Okay. Sushrita
That is
Haripriya.
little different. Su is actually yes.
So is Sushrita and H.A. then Haripriya. So just you can
No,
use
the
it.
first one is SHU.
Yeah.
So it's little different. So, but thanks for connecting.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Rohan and also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care and have a nice weekend.
Okay.
And enjoy.
Everyone.
Spending a lot of time for this. It's really good.
Okay. Very good. Very
Bye
good.
bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye
everyone.
bye everyone. Bye bye
Bye.
Vishnu.
Bye now.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.